Away from the coronavirus outbreak, Iranians are voting in their country's 11th parliamentary election, which can be seen as a test for the popularity of President Hassan Rouhani's reformist moderate camp. Elections for Iran's 290-member parliament are set amidst escalating political tensions, economic struggles, and concerns of low participation from the public. The country's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has called voting in these polls a religious duty of the people of Iran.
یه تکلیف شرعی است که اینها رو ما قبلا هم عرض کردیم و حقیقت این است که انتخابات متضمن منافع ملی کشور. هر کسی که به منافع ملی کشور علاقه‌منده در انتخابات شرکت می‌کنه. توصیه من اینه که اولا همه با همت حرکت کنن و بیان به اشخاص مورد نظر خودشون که به اون رسیدند رأی بدن و این کار رو هرچه زودتر انجام بدن. این توصیه همیشگی ماست.
As people now step out to vote, this election could be a turning point for the country. But why is this particular election so important for Iran? It's the first after Donald Trump pulled out of the 2015 nuclear deal in the year 2018. Since then, a faltering economy and a hike in fuel prices have led to massive anti-government protests. This is also the first election since the killing of top Iranian General Qasem Soleimani and the downing of the Ukrainian passenger plane. While Qasem Soleimani's killing has given Supreme Leader Khamenei and President Rouhani a rallying point for the country, the downing of the Ukrainian aircraft and the anti-government protests which have rocked the nation serve as major roadblocks. While Iran's elections have never been completely free or undemocratic, this one is marred by the growing rally around the conservatives. The Islamic Consultative Assembly, also known as the Parliament, plays an important role in Iran's political system, but it is always overshadowed by the Guardian Council and the Supreme Leader. Currently, as Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is the country's highest political and religious authority. The Guardian Council even controls who can stand in the elections. And that brings us to the latest controversy in this polarizing election. More than 15,000 people had applied to run for the parliament, but more than 7,000 candidates were disqualified by this same Guardian Council. What's even more shocking is that most of these candidates who were rejected were moderates, some even sitting members of the parliament. This shows a shift from Hassan Rouhani's moderate agenda to the conservatives. Finally, 7,148 candidates are now facing the ballot for 290 seats. Analysts say that if the conservatives can take power, they will appoint someone like former Tehran mayor Mohammad Bakr Qalibaf as speaker. Mohammad Bakr Qalibaf has failed multiple times as a presidential candidate. The 58-year-old ambitious technocrat now wants to use the Iranian parliament to relaunch his bid for power. In the last elections, the reformist group led by Hassan Rouhani swept the Tehran region, winning 30 out of the 35 seats. And this time, the conservatives are hopeful about a result starkly different from those of the 2016 elections. Nearly 58 million people are eligible to vote for Iran's 11th parliament, but people in Iran seem extremely apathetic to the political process. Reports suggest that this elections could witness a historically low turnout. A poll conducted by the University of Tehran suggests that barely 25% voters say that they will step out to vote. Other nationwide polls conducted by different agencies don't predict a turnout higher than 50%. Bear in mind, the turnout was 62% in the last elections and 66% in the elections before that in 2012. Iranian authorities are, however, hoping for a high electoral turnout. If the turnout is too low, then the result of this election could be taken as a vote of no confidence in the whole Islamic Republic and its regime. And now we have a Middle East analyst, Mayor Javed Anfar, joining us live from Tel Aviv for more on that big story that we're tracking. Mayor, thank you so much, as always, for being with us here on WION World is One. I wanted to begin by asking you, how do you view these Iranian elections? So much talk about conservatives versus reformists, but the fundamental question here is, are people even going to be interested?
Well, it seems that no. So far from official numbers released in Tehran, barely 10% of the people eligible to vote have turned up to vote. Iranians usually turn up to vote in far larger numbers, but this time it's basically, unfortunately, the way it's looking, looks like a one-horse race. There's so many candidates belonging to the reformists and the moderates that were disqualified even before the elections. It was obvious even before the elections what the results are going to be. And I think that has created apathy. And the other reason which has created apathy is that the previous Majlis was not allowed to do a lot of tasks which, according to the Iranian constitution, it's in charge of. It was ignored on numerous occasions, and I think this has compounded the feeling in Iran that voting in the Majlis elections and the parliament elections doesn't change much.
Mayor, Iran is going to elections at an extremely difficult time for the country. The last 6 to 8 months have been absolutely one crisis after another, but none of those crises have taken away the fundamental anger that people have been having against the regime even before the crisis broke out.
Yes, this is one of the issues in Iran. There are a number of issues which makes people critical of the political system in Iran. One of them is corruption, and the other one is that there's not really, there's nobody they can hold responsible. Everybody just passes the bucket. So there've been a number of issues. There've been a number of, as you said in your report, the Ukrainian airliner was shut down. First they lied about it, and then nobody knows if anybody's going to be held respectable. And then they were not going to release the black box. And now they're saying the black box has been damaged. So, there's a lot of lack of confidence in the whole political system in Iran. And I think now we are entering a juncture where people are just giving up, completely giving up, which means two things. That means they're either going to be passive towards all election processes in Iran, and there are election processes in Iran, or that people are going to become more vocal in the demonstrations and actually take part in demonstrations. That the path of elections as means of resolving the political disputes in Iran is losing its value.
Mayor Javed Anfar joining us. One last question before we let go of you. Whatever happens, the way this election has shaped up so far, it will be the loyalists of the supreme leader who will dominate the parliament. In that sense, Iran's foreign policy and nuclear policy will not change. But if indeed there is an extremely historically low turnout, do you think that will put pressure on the regime globally?
The regime usually uses a high number of voter turnout to say that it has the support and the legitimacy of the public. And we hear Mr. Zarif, even when he was in India recently, he said that, look, 73% of people voted in the last presidential election, so that goes to show that we have legitimacy and backing of the people. If there is a low number, that will hurt the legitimacy of the regime, but I don't think that's going to change political institutions in Iran.
Our West Asia analyst, Mayor